back to the Panic Room, everyone, and to another I read 3 books and let's talk about them. So guys, I've done this a few times by now. I have a bunch of shorter-esque books that I read, and I don't want to give you guys 8 million 5-minute videos, so we're just gonna put them all in one video. So I read 3 shortish type books. They're all under, I want to say under 200 pages. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all under 200 pages. And these were all sent to me by my dear friend, Mr. Morningstar, who you guys know just has the absolute best recommendations. And they are Waif, True Crime, and We Had to Remove This Post. And I've seen some of these, if not all of them, floating around BookTube. So I have to say I'm super glad I read them. So let's start with We Had to Remove This Post. Look at that. Isn't that the coolest trippy little cover? It's like a horror book and Lisa Frank had a baby. This was different than what I thought it was going to be in a lot of ways. I really was anticipating more like social media influence with our main characters, and it really wasn't that. It was almost like that was in the background. And for me, it left me wondering like, what influence does that have on the actions of the characters in this book? Because, you know, you have your main person that you're following and the relationships that she gets in and kind of her daily struggles. And in the background, you have this job where she's reviewing posts. And I love the fact that it's kind of left up to the reader as to how much you think this job is affecting her. And the way it's set up, I love this whole thing. You guys might think it's tired. I like this. She's kind of like telling the story almost to a therapist. And I like that. I like the conversational nature of that. So this book delivered on that too. But I have to say I enjoyed this. I thought it was a really interesting look into the psyche of our main character. And you guys know by now I am down for that shit. That is my bread and butter when it comes to horror books. So this is not in your face like, oh my god, it's gonna keep you up at night. But this is one of those that you might think about next time you see something weird on the internet. So we had to remove this post. Okay, so next let's talk about Waif. And I want to say the first time I heard about this book was over on Violet Prin's channel. I do not remember, I don't think she liked it very much. I don't remember though. But I have to say I did. I liked that you got into, again, broken record, I liked that you got into the main narrator's head. And I like how it married this very real concerns of a woman in a relationship, the kind of relationship this woman was in, versus this absolute batshit insane thing that happens. You have this woman who, she's in a relationship that on the outside looking in looks like it should be perfect. And the thing that really stuck with me was she was talking about this bathrobe and about how it was like super fancy and everything and how she didn't wear it because she was afraid she was gonna like sully it somehow. And I think that a lot of women find themselves in that. Like, you stay somewhere because it's comfortable. You stay somewhere because it allows you to live certain parts of your life the way you want to. But is it passionate? Does it scratch that relationship itch? And I really think that Samantha Kolesnik, I hope I'm not butchering her name, nailed that. I would hope that she didn't live that, because I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but I really think she nailed that when it comes to this book, because you really got how our main character is just kind of broken. Like, there are scenes where she's posting stuff on social media and it just looks so pretty and happy and, oh, my hubby and all this, and it's really not. It's really not. So you have those aspects, but then there's like horror sprinkles that are so cool at the end. Well, towards the end, like it starts to spiral. It gets more and more crazy, but I love that. I love how you almost have this like Frankenstein-y kind of deal happening where, you know, the evil becomes more physical. I don't want to say a whole lot. And, you know, this like path that she goes down that is radically different than what she started with that you never would have guessed. So I have to say I liked it. So, Waif. Alright, and the next book is by the same author, Samantha Kolesnik, and it is True Crime. And this was not what I expected either, which I'm always down for that. So, for this, you have, like, a brother and sister, and they come from a really shitty home life, and things happen and they find themselves on the road. And I really was, at first, thinking this was going to be very, like, Bonnie and Clyde kind of deal, you know, like on a murder spree across country, but that's really not where it came out. You are being told the story from the sister's perspective, and she's really messed up in the head. She gave me some, like, I'm going to use this example because it's a very popular example. She gave me some Patrick Bateman type vibes, and I think marrying that with like a feminine, very, especially a young teenager, almost feminine outlook on life was very interesting. You know, she has a lot of terrible shit happen to her, and it has warped her into this almost monster. But for some reason, and maybe this is just me, you guys know, maybe it's just me, I didn't really find myself disliking her at all. Even though she has these terrible characteristics about her, I actually really felt myself like wanting to know more about her, like caring about her life. And she's one of those, I've said this in a couple of videos in the past, she's one of those that the more I found out about her and the more terrible things that happened to her, I just kept thinking like, damn, I wish one good thing could happen to you. You deserve it, just one good thing. You know, as most of my books go, that usually doesn't really happen, but I really enjoyed this. Again, I know I sound like a broken record, but I absolutely adore getting into the mind, into the psyche of my main characters, and this delivered. And she was unique. She was a unique main character to me. I cared about her, even though I don't know if you were supposed to, I did. I did. I cared about her. I wanted to know what happened. I wanted to know more about her life. So, true crime. All right, guys, that is it. Another triple book review-esque type thing of 3 short things that I read. I hope you guys like this. You know, I enjoy it. I've said in the past, I feel like you get more bang for your buck. And these 3 really were awesome. I loved these. I would recommend any of these to any of you. I really think that if you're like me and you like that like psychological type stuff, none of these, well, not all of them. Waif did a little bit. None of these are like in your face, gory, blood and guts kind of deal. Again, Waif had a little bit of that. So, but this is my type of horror. This is my like bleak, gritty, humans are awful and terrifying creature, kind of horrible. I like that in my books. So if you're like me, I highly recommend any of these. And guys, of course, thank you for hanging out for another triple book review here in Panic Room. If you like this, please hit like, hit subscribe. It would really help me out. And until next time, bye for now.